Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded. Today you're stranded with Nemsun, but I've got a lot of things to show you and a few comments to go through. A few comments worth a note. Now I've had a weekend of being really busy. I've been playing around in the spaceship a little bit. I've installed the reactor at the back here, where I was having the elevator block going down into my storage. Now all my storage is up here in the AE system. This is all my storage now. So I don't need that crafting center. And I've remodeled slightly. Remodeled in order to have the whole reactor here. We've got an input that is fed in uranium in through this little system here. So this dense cable from the AE system feeds into an interface. The interface is meant to keep one yellorium ingot in there all the time. This is the configuration section. One yellorium ingot at all times is in that interface, and then this item conduit can take out extract on yellow for yellorium and insert on blue for the byproduct cyanite. Canite? That one. Yeah, that one. The yellow line goes in here, and the blue line comes out there and goes back into there. Simple. Yeah, simple. So the yellorium stays topped up in here all the time. Now I choose to turn it off when I don't want it activated, when the buffer's running out, because it uses the fuel while it's sitting on. So while it's making over nearly 4,000, I think it is. I don't think it actually gets to 4,000. 4,000 RF per tick. It fills up really fast, and I don't use 4,000 RF per tick, so there's no point me having it running constantly. So I let it stock up, and then I come back and I just deactivate it again, and let it deactivate. It fills up these two big energy banks. This particular energy bank can hold, I think, 10 million, and this one over there is currently on 5 million, slightly shorter. So there's 15 million RF stored up in here. And then in the reactor itself it can store another 10 million. So that's 25 million RF that it can store up, and it can produce it very rapidly. When I logged on today, it had run out. By the time I just got myself sorted out and been looking around and deciding what I was going to do today, it had already filled up and I was turning it off again. Yeah, it's very fast, very awesome. It's got 5 cores in it. No coolant or anything, just 5 cores in there, all on maximum efficiency, filling that space in there. It also has a little bit of, let me come out this way, I'm trying to avoid showing you some stuff. It also has a little bit coming out onto the spaceship here. But that's nothing to worry about, because I believe, and now we're coming to today's episode, look at this. I believe that somebody said in the comments, I think it was Blue Star, said that advanced rocketry is very big. Let me just find this quote. Hang on. That mod is very cool, but requires certain knowledge of it, and some processes in it are time consuming. So the earlier you start, the better. Only start learning this mod, and I only started learning this mod, and it seems it might be possible to move your spaceship up into space as a space station, in theory, but I'm not sure how expensive it will be. By the way, final quest in the pack is to find an Earth-like planet and move there. Okay, so thank you very much, Blue Star, and I hope you've had a nice little look at this factory while I've been telling you what Blue Star was saying. Thank you very much, Blue Star. That's an awesome idea. I like the idea of advanced rocketry. I have not been into advanced rocketry myself. Cat Fluff. Why is the cat fluff going everywhere? Cat, what have you done? Throwing your gravel and string around the place. Imagine us taking this ship and our base and everything with it into space at some point in the near future to finish the series. That was kind of what I was doing, wasn't it? I was building up to the fact that this was going to be like a runway. I was rebuilding the ship. I was going to then take the ship and use the runway off and escape, leaving behind the farms and the factories that I'd been using, and all of you citizens of the new world. So it could work out perfectly well. So I need to start doing the quests early, is what that sounds like. And one thing that I wanted to do was expand that little tiny early game sieving system into my much grander factory. Now I've used this factory build like schematic before in a previous series. Bonus points for those of you that put down in the comments below a series that I used this factory in previously. But I rebuilt it over the weekend using a few other materials to give it the futuristic, a little bit more futuristic. I'm trying to go for the futuristic again anyway. So at the minute I'm using these wood, although I haven't got enough left over. I'm going to have to run it in the farms for a little while. Futuristic, as you can see in here, I've got my my power for being able to fly up, hidden out the way, nice and simple, keeping it out the way, nice and simple. And it's overall a very big, beautiful looking factory. You can see all the inside sections and everything, very big and beautiful, and fairly inexpensive because the factory blocks themselves cost 4 iron. Is it 4 iron? 4 iron and 4 stone. Or is it 5 of one? I can't remember. 4 iron and 4 stone blocks in order to make like 32 blocks. So I went to town with it. I made loads of them. I made loads of factory blocks and I used factory blocks throughout. Factory blocks from chisel are awesome, and all of this internal stuff that you can see, factory blocks make it look awesome. The most expensive was probably this brownstone from chisel. Now I did the brownstone from chisel because the brownstone that we get from the city would mean I'd have to destroy the city in order to rebuild it over here in the form of the factory. Now to me that was good for the story of I have conquered the city over there, I smash it to pieces, bring all the bricks over here, build myself a factory out of the blocks, and then use the factory to create all the things I need in order to make my ship fly again. That made sense to me. But the actual workload, I was building it, that was a big enough workload. Having the workload of digging out the other city as well was not so great. So what I took to was making a crafter just do all the hard work for me of making the brownstone, so I didn't have to keep coming back and making more. I could just go and grab a stack when I ran out and it would make it for me. Sand, of course, I've got no worries about sand. I've got tons of sand in here. Sand can be produced by me just sticking cobble into a pulverizer or anything like that, and I've got a pulverizer here that can pulverize cobble into sand, or is it gravel into sand. I've got pulverizers that can pulverize things. I've got hammers over here that can hammer things. I've got loads of sand. I've got tons of sand, haven't I? Tons of sand. And I'm in a desert full of friggin' sand. So every bit of sand I dug, there was plenty of sand for it. The clay, however, we do have to go around a different kind of thing for clay. It's an awkward one to get clay. Getting clay itself is a very difficult task. Now this slag and dirt and water is my old method for making tons of clay automated from no resources, right? But it requires water and dirt to do it, and the water and dirt are very hard commodities to get hold of, as is clay blocks, right? But the clay blocks is not impossible to get hold of, is it? Where's the carpenter now? Okay, it's not showing ex nihilo on here, is it? But there's the ex nihilo way of getting all of the clay I needed, using the water pots and putting sand in water and all that kind of stuff. So I was able to make a load of clay over the course of time using my setup that I already had in here, which, as you can see, looks a little bit different now because I've broken it down a little bit. But I had a setup in here that was good for making lots of water. So I was able to make a load of clay and a load of stone bricks, as you can see, 416 stacks of stone bricks just by using the extruder. So I was able to use this to put water into the barrels and then use the barrels to make the clay, if you see what I mean. Yeah, so it was good for that. And then I just put the 2 and 2 together and made lots and lots of this brownstone. Now the best thing about this brownstone is that it has some other options in here. Let's put brownstone in here so you can see. Brownstone. As you can see, the brownstone that is Tinker's Construct, which is what the city's made out of, has lots of cool options, including stairs and slabs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, which I've been using for my pathways, the slabs or the bricks or whatever. That's good, and that's stuff that I can go and reclaim and still will. But the brownstone from Chisel has a couple of really cool varieties of weathered version of it. So it's got a nice texture. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the stairs and steps, but it does have a nice texture for weathering areas and making certain areas look a little different. So I can have a weathered section lower down and a nicer, cleaner section higher up. So I've got all those nice options, which is good. I like that. So the base is expanding nicely. The base is expanding nicely. But we've got to think about the next thing. The next thing along. My farm keeps running out of dirt. That's the next thing along, but I'm not doing that just today. What have I done with that? This is more difficult because of the dirt required to do this. It's an interesting thing. I'm going to have to do the cactus farm in here, I think. I'm going to have to move the cactus farm out of the factory and into there to make dirt for the farm to do the trees. But it is working nicely. That's good. But I'm really concerned with making sure that we get a good start on with the advanced rocketry. And use that factory, put that factory to good use now, creating all the things that I need to create to do advanced rocketry and make this a space station. If that's even possible. Wow, that could be really cool. What's the first thing on the quest list? On the Moving Worlds quest list. This is the kind of final quest list. I've got something to finish off in each of these. I've got something to finish off in these, which I'm not that bothered about. And the collector I'm not doing. So Moving Worlds Hollow Projector task is the next thing that we've got to do. And I'm just going to progress through those and see what sort of hold-ups we're going to get. A hollow projector opens machine selection interface. No idea. Optical sensors, iron plates, and that. 2 of those. Optical sensors, and then boom, hollow projector. Okay. And what do I get from that? I get a loot crate. And I get a choice of rewards. I have no idea what should be a good thing here. Let's get a titanium iridium alloy. Because aluminide sounds like aluminum. And that sounds like iridium. I'm guessing iridium's more expensive. So I'm going to claim that. I don't care. And then, what else we got? What else we got? We've got all of these bits and pieces. Okay, first plate. Back to the vanilla. You need to get your first plates. You will need a small plate presser and obsidian place. Obsidian on the ground. Keep 1 block gap between the presser. Blah, 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 blah. Hold on. It's telling me how to make plates. And yet the previous quest, that this required me to make plates. But now it's telling me how to make plates. What? What is it like? Let's take a look, Chris. Oh, we got Dragon's Head. Nice. We got Dragon's Head. Semi-epic. Semi-epic. Okay, well, that's cool. But we've got a Dragon's Head out of all of that stuff. I'll put the hollow projector in there now. That's cool. But now we've got to make a piston. Do I already have a piston? Yes, I have a piston. And we need a lever. Lever. And then what did we need to do? I suppose I need a block of something. Let's take a block of gold. Okay. I saw this was a way of doing things. Small plate presser. Small plate presser is not a piston. Okay. So I've got to craft a lever. And then I've got to retrieve some obsidian. Okay. So I can't have that lever. I can't have that. I've got to craft a lever. Okay. There. I've crafted a lever. And then I've got to craft a small pressing plate lifter thing. I've got to craft that. Okay. And now I have discovered how to do flattening. And then I was also supposed to have a piece of obsidian. Do I have a piece of obsidian in my inventory? The questing lark in these packs is always fun, always awesome. Sometimes it could just be questing for questing's sake. And there we go. Have I got it all now? Yes. Yes. Awesome. Claim that. Done. Job's good. First plate. Done. Next up, what do we got? Arc furnace, lathe, keep rolling, cutting waffles. wafers, crystallization, and things like that. Well, the electric arc furnace sounds like a cool thing, and I've seen some recipes that required these things. So what do we need for this? Okay, that looks like a task and a half. And then the lathe, that requires like a task and a half. That requires output hatches, input hatches. Then keep rolling, requires rolling machines, input hatches, output hatches. So I need about 3 input and output hatches. Again, input and output hatches for those. And again, input and output hatches for those. Enhanced motors and saw blade assemblies and all sorts of cool stuff. Has it not got like a basic, I don't know, a basic like book that you can read? Has it not got something like that? That would be nice. I would like that. I would like a basic book you could read. Basic knowledge. Oh, I got some plants. I got some flowers. Awesome. Okay. Let's go at advanced rocketry. There's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so we want to figure out all of the bits and pieces in here, bit by bit. First off, though, we're definitely going to need some input and output sectors. So, input. No. And fluid loaders. Okay. Input. I know I need input hatches. So, let's get an input hatch. What is this? This is a machine structure, which is iron rods and plates. How do I make iron rods? Just like so. Okay, let's make a stack of iron rods, because I have a feeling I'm going to need those. And then we'll make 4, let's make 16 of those. Sounds like it's a good thing. And then we just throw them together to make input hatches. For some reason then I needed some more oak chests. So we get those, and I'll have, well, let's have 5, because it sounds like we might need them. And then there's the output as well. And we need these ones, output hatches. They're just on the top instead of on the bottom. Well, that's kind of a clever design, I suppose. Yeah. And I think I had an input in there, didn't I? Yeah, I've got 2 input hatches in there, so that's good. And then we just work through the processing. So, if I go with the electric furnace first, there's the input and output hatches that we've got sorted. Let's detect those. Go back and detect them. Yes, done. Can I do that for each of them? Detect, done. There it is, yeah. Done, okay. Can I detect them again for here? Yes, the same ones work for each one, that's good. And here. And here. And did that all work? Yes, it did. Awesome. So I don't have to recraft them all. I can get them all detected as soon as possible. Okay. Launch requires cutting wafers. Launch? Oh, I want to launch. I want to launch right now. But okay, let's start with this though. Electric arc furnace and heat-proof bricks. Let's see what we need for those things. Electric arc furnace. Let's go arc furnace. That. Oh my days, what is all this stuff? Nether bricks, easy enough. Copper ingots, okay. Heat-proof brick. I need some of those anyway. Don't have anything like at the moment. Let's see how much of that have I got. Not much. Let us start by taking some of this back, because I pretty much done the build now, and we can cook that up in there, cook that up in there quickly. There we go. So brick, I don't think I have any bricks at the minute. I've got blast bricks, nether bricks, but I don't have any Nor bricks. Okay, that's fine then, that's fine. This stuff will have to do. So we needed quite a bit of this, so I'm going to need to cook quite a bit of that up. Let's have a look at what else we've got to make first. We might as well make some more stuff while we're doing that. So that's the heat-proof brick being made. This is some lime dye. I don't suppose I've got any lime dye. Let's see about making lime. Lime dye. No. So I'm going to have green, which is cactus green, and bone meal. Put those two together, and what have you got? Some lime green dye. Let's make a few actually. It's not like we're short of that. And then we should be able to make that first bit of the arc furnace, yes, a user interface. Awesome. And then these bits on the side. Diamonds and copper dust and bits of plates and all that. So the copper dust is a thing. And this is gold dust. Okay. So we need some copper and gold ground down as well. So we want 4 bits of copper for that. And gold. Where's my gold? 4 bits of gold for the other one. Okay. This done now? Yes, it is. Awesome. And we'll grind those down in there. And did I have a second one? I think I had a second one. No, I didn't have a second one ready. It'll soon get done though. And then we'll put the copper in there. One more piece, and then the copper can be done. There. Okay, so that's that done. I need some bricks for this one. So let's go with, I think it was 4 bricks, wasn't it? For the arc furnace. That. Okay, we get 16 heat-proof bricks for that. Nice. And that was part of the quest as well, wasn't it? Part of the quest was to make those heat-proof bricks there. Yay. And then we have to make the furnace out of that lot. So we've got pretty much everything there now, apart from these 2 little bits. Oh, no, these 2 little bits here, which was those final pieces for those little plate things. What are they called? Control circuit boards and item IO circuit boards. Those things. They look pretty cool. I like them. Bit complicated to make, but still, they're okay. And then we make an arc furnace. Okay, I presume the arc furnace and those all sort of work together. But to start with, is that everything in there? Yeah, okay. A power input plug and a block of gold. Well, the block of gold is easy to pick up. I've already got some of those. And the power input. I don't have one already. And it's, okay, input. There. Power input plug. Okay, oh, it's these small battery things. Alright, that's cool. I think we had some small batteries, but I guess we don't. Let's get 3 small batteries. We need to make some more of the tin plates. Nope. I don't want to make them that way. I want to make the tin plates with the IC2 method, because that's nice and simple. And we're going to need like 16 of those or so, aren't we? To make 4 of these. Oh, we make 4 just by each one. Well, let's make a couple of stacks then. That's it. And then we can make a few of these later. That's the power input thing. So far it's asked me to make all of these things. I'll put those in there for now. All of these things have been asked to be made by this one thing. So I'm guessing it's a multi-block structure. I'm guessing I'm having to make a wild guess here. Guessing it's a multi-block structure. Block of gold. Do I have to make... Oh, I've got to craft a block of gold. Okay, well I can just go like this then, can't I? And just do a block of gold like this. And recraft a block of gold from like that. And then go, quest completed. Nice. And claim a couple of solar panels. Awesome. There's the arc furnace. Now I don't know how to put the arc furnace together. I'm gonna take a wild guess. I'm gonna have a quick sleep, and then I'm gonna take a wild guess at how to put an arc furnace together. Okay, so this mod is hard work. This is hard work. I made all this, right, just to make steel. There's plenty of other ways in the pack to make steel. But I'm doing this to make steel because it's in the quests. That's it, right. Now, actually making this multi-block structure is pretty difficult, it seems. You can go into the hollow projector by holding it in your inventory and shift right-clicking to open it up. But then there's no seeming way of selecting some other things. But in actual fact, you hold left-click and scroll around like this. This is the way to scroll around, scroll around, scroll around. This is the way to scroll around. And then you select the thing that you want, like so, and it will be then selected. And then you just find the location you want and you place it, right-click it. Now, the base for this is a 5x5, so you've got to be in the center of your 5x5 in order create where it goes. Now I've built this several times already and it's not created a multi-block structure. So I've ripped it all down again in the attempt to use this hollow projector as a way of actually making it without being wrong. Without being wrong. So I'm right clicking to replace these blocks as we go. And as far as I'm aware, I've built it exactly the same as I'm about to build it, but freehand without the hollow projector. Okay? And then you shift and scroll wheel up to the next level. And this is now showing me all the possible options. So there's no options for the corners. The corners have got to be the bricks. So we put those in there. But the options are for the input and output and all that kind of stuff to go in all over the place, right? So I am going to put my input hatch over here. Let me just check. Input hatch is possible there. Yep, input hatch. Okay. And I'm going to do that. I'm not going to put any input or output hatches at the back. I'm supposed to do something filling in there. I think I may see where I was going wrong. This section here, I did not fill in previously. And as I didn't fill it in, then that will be why it wasn't making a multi-block structure. And then I'm going to have an output hatch over here, and this over here. Okay, that filling in the center is a bit that I missed previously. And then we're going to have the arc furnace controller right in the middle there, and then those two like so. And then I'll scroll up one. Let's see what we've got here. Now we've got the gap in the middle. Okay, so the gap in the middle, I've missed that bit. I missed that stage. The gap in the middle is the bit that I got wrong last time. So in theory, this should work properly this time, right? Heat-proof bricks all the way around there. Then scroll up again with another one. And then we've got the heat-proof bricks coming down here. Also, in a previous tutorial, these blocks here, these coils that it's showing, and in the quest book, as it were, there was a recipe for gold block, wasn't there? Gold block. So I was expecting a gold block to be put in there, and in previous versions it was, but now it looks like it's a coil, so you have to make a gold coil instead. And then put the gold coil in the right place, right? And then scroll up one more, and then we've got these power input plugs. Now it's not showing any opportunity to put anything other than a power input plug there. There's three types: creative, IC2 and normal by the looks of it, to go on top of those blocks. Not that block there, not that block there, give me that back. That's a normal brick. That one there. Okay, and then normal bricks in the other sections. And hopefully, now I need 2 more bricks because I have to do that extra level. Okay, well that's easy enough, and I'm glad that I'm getting there. I'm glad I'm getting there because I didn't know how to do this before. I've had to do lots of research. It's a very interesting mod. I've been checking out the wiki and I've been checking out the different chat groups and stuff like that, and it's got lots of cool things in it. I'm really looking forward to getting to know it a little bit better. But oh, come on. Come on. Okay, we need some more. I'll just get some more done quick. Oh, I got some in there. Good. Let's put some more in there while we're at it as well then. Okay. I don't think this is enough though. No. I needed one more for the heat bricks, I believe. Yeah, one more brick. There we go. We've got it. We got it. Let's do it. Let's actually achieve this episode. Oh my days. This has taken me quite some time to figure it out. Oh, and I get 16. So you get all of these different stacks of the bricks and you don't actually use them all. That's typical of modded Minecraft, innit? They give you too much of something for a crafting recipe. Right, that's that and that there. Okay, now are we fixed? Are we fixed? Yes! Finally, we've made a multi-block structure. Okay, so now the inputs and outputs. I believe I've got to input coal and like iron or something. I'm going to put iron in somewhere and it smelts it down. Put power in the top and all that kind of stuff. And then it outputs steel. So I'm going to mess around with this a little bit more. Now I've got the multi-block structure, at least there's that. And I'll show you the rest in a minute. Alrighty. It's broken. It's officially broken. I put the power supply on. Right, power's going in. It's awesome. Looks good. Power going into all of the sides. Awesome. I will, of course, sort something out to have infinite power going into there from somewhere power plantish at some point. Maybe a power generator up there somewhere. But putting iron and charcoal into the input hatches should be how you make steel. Should be. But nothing's happening. Right? And I've looked into it, and I've looked into it, and I've looked into it, and I've found that the XML in the configs that tells recipes is blank. Something has happened in the last update, I believe. I thought maybe I was just being stupid. But when I was speaking to GW Sheridan, the pack creator, in his Discord chat, I found out that that's just a thing, that it should be there. And somehow it got missed in the update. So today we are blaming Sheridan for this kerfuffle. And hopefully by next episode, by next update, we should have a fully functioning arc furnace, or electric arc furnace, from Advanced Rocketry. I'm going to set about making some of the other blocks that we need to make some of the other machines from Advanced Rocketry before next episode, so that we've got the factory starting to build up the ability to create. Also, there's lots of cheaper ways to make steel, so I don't think many people really need to use this arc furnace, apart from the fact that it's in the quest book, and so we need to make it for the quest lines. Having the ability to make steel other ways, I'll probably set up something very close by in the factory to sort that out. But anyway, thank you very much for watching today's episode of Forever Stranded. I've had a great weekend building the factory. I hope you've left a like and you've enjoyed today's episode and you like the factory build. I will see you in the next very soon. A goodbye.